I'm not paying for a whole, container full of broken beer.
Correct, because the COD,
It's a
so
COD.
you're on it.
Exactly, so you are on it, but now, and this is what I'm going back to say, it's all still in the contract and the terms and conditions. And you guys decide that from the beginning, if this doesn't make it or something breaks, all this gotta be spelled out, before you guys even ship it.
Well, now we're getting into transportation, which is, we're talking about ownership, FOB points.
Exactly.
So if the terms and conditions were established that when the doors are shut, in lieu of when it left the dock, ownership transferred, well then that's fine. The onus is on the buyer, the company that bought the beer. Miller Coors has nothing else to do with it anymore, unless they wanted to do it from a customer service standpoint. You follow me?
Right.
So, the number one, the name of this transportation company, it depends on if it's a 3PL or if this is a company-owned truck that's from the buyer.
Right.
You follow me?
The buyer would, yeah.
So, let's say it's called ABC Distributing Company. And the ABC Distributing Company bought the beer. And ABC Distributing Company sent their own truck there.
It's on them.
It's on them.
It's on them.
They are, what, you cocked your eyes at me. What were you thinking about?
It's on them.
Go ahead.
It left the 3PL on a truck from
It's not a 3PL though.
from the freight forwarder.
Oh, in your illustration?
Yeah, the freight forwarder.
Now you're going back to another scenario.
So what would you do then?
Okay, so.
We're doing scenario. We're doing real
Well, he was
scenario.
trying to go to that next scenario.
Yeah.
You
Trying
want-
to
okay,
let you get this
put it in another
scenario
scenario.
first.
Okay, so she just threw another wrench in it. Who owns the beer? ABC.
ABC.
No.
ABC owns the beer.
ABC owns the beer.
It's their beer.
Now, they own
They own the beer.
it. No, but so it hasn't left Miller Coors.
But
Miller
wait.
closed, is that what you're saying?
Doors are shut.
Doors are
Okay,
shut.
all right,
ABC owns
ABC
it.
owns the beer.
ABC owns it, right.
Right, but they hired Billy Bob's Country Truck Moving Service to get the beer
So,
from Miller
Billy
Coors
Bob.
to their place.
also then that's on them.
So-
Where they hired that person.
Well, that'll still be based on the terms and condition between Billy Bob and ABC. Miller Coors don't have nothing to do
Well,
with it.
and if Billy Bob is participating in international commerce in the United States of America, they will be controlled by something called the NMFC book. Therefore, the terms and conditions stated by someone that is in this field will comply with those rules and regulations. And they say ABC Company needs to file a claim against Billy Bob's Trucking Company. Billy Bob's Trucking Company will have insurance in place
Oh, really?
to cover for those commodities, AKA Geico.
I will concur.
Geico pays for it.
Geico pays for it. You were right. So, do you see in that scenario? As a buyer, I'm going to digress for 1 second here. As a buyer, you have a lot of ability here to negotiate and save your company a lot of money through cost savings or cost avoidance. And here's why. You can negotiate with these different LTL and TL companies. What's LTL?
Less than truckload.
Thank you. What's TL?
Full truckload.
Thank you. So, Roadway Express, Overnight Express, Billy Bob's Truckload Service. There's tons of them.
JP Hall Express.
JP Hall Express. There's many. Southern Ag. So these companies that specialize in transportation are referred to as a 3PL, third party logistics company, right? Okay. So when the buyer contacts the OEM, sends me and asks to be sent a widget, they contact either an LTL or a TL based upon the size and the quantity and the volume and the weight of the widget being procured. And so where do you have an opportunity to save money?
Everywhere.
in the way that, number one, it's packaged, because that'll control the classification of the freight. Another way is how is your tariff negotiated with the LTL or VTL company. And when I say tariff, they're going to go right off the top and give you 65% discount. If your company is breathing air, just plain alive, if your company's operating, you're going to get a 65% discount. If you ask for a better discount, you'll get it. Because it's so competitive. It's so competitive. And if you were a new buyer going into a company and you ask these questions, what's the top 10 spend? What companies do we spend the most money with transportation-wise? How long has it been since we negotiated the tariffs for our discounts? Who has evaluated the opportunity for cost savings based upon how things are containerized? And I'm not being flippant when I say that. I have a plastic bottle cap. This bottle cap could be put into a drum. If you had a room full of drums, 55-gallon drum, and it was full, it would be classification Humpty Frats. So, if you could imagine in your mind a semi-truck van, and these 55-gallon drums are shoved up against the wall because they're round, there's going to be air between them, right? You're not maximizing your space, right? Would it be smarter to cube them in a box? Couldn't you get more widgets in a box? Now, if we put them in a box, though, what's the chances of this getting damaged? I know. What if we took and we individually took each bottle cap and we wrapped it in bubble wrap? No. There, that's a great idea. No. They'll be safe. Your bottle caps will arrive safe, won't they?
No.
Yes,
They
yeah,
will arrive
yeah.
safe, but you're not maximizing the space that you have.
You're not maximizing the space, and you're off the chain with the safety. You're just off the chain. You can get crazy with this stuff. But this is what you need to know. The NMFC book is just a book, okay? It's going to be classification from 0 to 500. The higher the number, the more expensive it is to ship it. If you want your number to come down, what do you have to do? You need to change the way they're containerized. You got to do some research. You got to look bottle caps, boxes on pallets, shrink wrapped. What did I just say? What does shrink wrap mean?
Space.
Wrapped up in
It's
the used to keep it tight, hold it together. Yeah.
Cubed up, tight with plastic. A shrink wrap. Plastic's like saran wrap, right? Another way could be in a drum. Could be loose. Could be stacked. You follow me? I don't know why it works like this, but it does. But the way they're stacked, how they're containerized, with or without padding, makes that NMFC number come up or go down. So if you're working for a company and we've always done it this way, that's where you walk in and you can really shine, but you're going to make some people look silly. Because if you monetize it, the cost savings, cost avoidance that you can monetize is fun. That's why this is a fun field. It's fun to do this stuff, to figure it out, to see the money, to see how you affect the company, the bottom line. And to deal with the companies, the individuals, it's just enjoyable, at least it is to me. And as you can tell by looking at me, I haven't missed too many meals, so I must pay pretty well. And you can get into this field too. Because you could have an MBA in supply chain and logistics management, right? How many of you do not feel that you're an expert in supply chain and logistics management yet? All right? 1, 2 people, 3 people.
You said do not feel like...
Do not feel you are an expert in that field yet. Yeah. So how are you going to become an expert?
Learning.
Learning. But will you ever? I mean, do you ever stop learning?
No.
You never stop learning. To stay up to date and current is difficult because it's constantly changing. Constantly changing. I don't even want to start talking about the drones with UPS or Amazon. That's a whole different ballpark. But the Inland Port and Cordial is an event. Me and Dr. B are working on getting a tour for you folks.
Cordial Intermodal.
Hmm?
Cordial Intermodal.
What?
Are you going to Cordial Intermodal?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't hear the question.
She
It's
was asking
Cordial
about
Intermodal.
Cordial Intermodal. And what is it? It's a place where they take containers, they double stack them on a rail car, and ship them. I mean, it's not rocket science, but they've grown, keep growing. I mean, they're getting bigger. And what it does is it creates a bigger outreach. It's a 200-mile stretch there from where we are, the Port of Savannah. So it's like, reaching into the heart of the South and getting more business. So why do they want to expand the inland port in Savannah? What's the purpose?
That's where everything goes. Majority of
Bring
everything
in
goes
more
to Savannah.
ships and, transportation to come in, make some more money.
Majority of stuff goes through Savannah because Savannah's in Georgia, and Georgia is the middle point to everywhere. That's why so many highways.
Yes. But the reason they're trying to expand the port
International.
is because they want to be able to take in the monster ship. There's a new monster ship out there. And right now, the port of Savannah isn't deep enough or wide enough to accommodate this huge ship. I forgot the number, but it's like mind-blowing of containers they can put on this monster ship. And by shipping more on a bigger ship, it's actually driving costs down, which is a good thing. So, I digress, and I'm coming back up. We talked about what is this thing called procurement? What does it look like? How should it happen? What are the opportunities for cost savings, cost avoidance that's going to allow you, as an individual that may or may not get into procurement or buying, but still you need to know this information if you're going to be in supply chain or logistics. So after the purchase order's acknowledged, the products come in, it's been received, what is the last step? We're going to close our PO file after the company has in fact been paid and there's no outstanding warranty issues or damage claims that need to be worked out. So did you see how that looked? If I asked you, what is supply chain? What is logistics? What is logistics? The planning, implementing, controlling of the movement of
Services.
raw materials and services from the point of origin through the different supply chain organizations until it reaches the ultimate consumer. That's what logistics is. What is supply chain management? Management of the supply chain. Let me do that again. What is supply chain management? Management of the supply chain. So a small, simple supply chain looks like 5 circles reading left to right, and I like blue circles. So I'm putting blue circles in your mind. See the blue circles? The left one is called raw materials. This one is called manufacturing, aka OEM. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer. This one is distribution. This one is retail. This one is the consumer. So this is a simple supply chain. So what you're learning to do, where you're adding value to your organization, is your understanding of what these look like in their basic form. How are they applied to the organization or company you're going to go into and work for? And based upon your experience and knowledge that you've learned in the various courses you've had under myself and Dr. Bandera and Dr. The new guy. I'm sorry. What's his name?
New guy.
Dr. Nugent.